Sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam. Hello and assalamu alaikum and welcome to today's video. In this video, we will be solving business paper 3, May, June 2026. It was about a case study program, and the entire case study was about the company CC. If you remember the contents of the case study, it's fine. And if you don't, then you need to stop the video over here, go through the case study first, read the questions, and then revert back to this video. So I assume that you are completely aware of all the points that were mentioned in the case study of CC. So this paper, business paper 3, basically focuses on assessment objective 1, 2, 3. So let's start. Okay, fine. The first question was analyze. Examine the command word analyze. 2 factors affecting the relocating decisions of CC 8 marks. So in the first paragraph, we need to give the definition. So here is the definition. Location factors are the various internal and external considerations that influence a business when deciding whether to set up or to relocate its operations. There will be a number of reasons that affect CC's relocation decision. So the definition is coming in, the connecting statement is over there. So 2 factors were demanded. So there comes the first one. Firstly, accessibility to customers and market size. They are single statement, straight argument. In this, now the explanation is coming in, connected with the case study. CC relocated to a site that is relatively close to 2 cities. City A, 9 kilometers away, population 500,000, and City B, 21 kilometers away, population 200,000. This means the new showroom is positioned to access a large customer base, increasing potential demand for cars. As a result of this, now analysis is about to start. CC is likely to experience higher footfall and more test drive opportunities, especially because customers often prefer physical inspection before purchasing. This will lead to, now the further analysis is coming in, this would lead to increased sales revenue and stronger market presence compared to the previous small showroom in the city center. Now the second point is coming in. Secondly, availability of space and capacity for expansion. This could perhaps be a reason for the relocation. In this, now we are connecting it with a case study. The new showroom has a capacity to store up to 70 cars, along with parking space for an additional 30 cars, which is significantly larger than the previous location. This allows CC to display a wider range of vehicles and provide more customer experience, including test drives. As a result of this analysis, CC can hold more inventory and offer greater product variety, which can attract more customers. This will lead to further analysis coming in, improved competitiveness against nearby rivals and potentially higher sales. Although it may also increase costs such as inventory holding and maintenance. We have just slightly given the touch of the other side of the picture. It was not mandatory, but just to add little spice to the answer. Next question, analyze, examine the command word. 2 problems of CC may face when valuing its inventory. Now there was a little trick over here, valuing its inventory. Okay, fine. First, we need to define inventory valuation is the process. Now this is the definition coming in, knowledge marks code, is the process of assigning a monetary value to the stock held by a business at a given time. Now most of the students have defined inventory and they have ignored the valuing of the inventory part. Now the connecting statement, there will be a number of reasons why CC may face problems when valuing its inventory. Firstly, the first reason is coming in, different types and high value of cars increasing complexity. Your single statement argument. In this, now we are connecting it with the case study. CC holds a variety of car models with significantly different costs, ranging from $12,000 for model A to $99,000 for Model B, including both petrol and electric vehicles. This wide variation makes it difficult to apply for a single valuation method accurately, as each type of cars may depreciate or appreciate differently. As a result of this, the total inventory value may be miscalculated if appropriate averaging methods are used. This will lead to, now the further analysis is coming in, this would lead to inaccurate financial statements, which could misinform decision making such as pricing, ordering, or profitability analysis. Now, the argument is over here. We have connected with a case study. The analysis is coming over here. The further analysis is also coming here. So we have identified very clearly the main problem about the valuation. Secondly, the second point is coming in: changes in market trends and demand affecting value. This was a very important and very tricky point. In this, there is a 35% increase in demand for electric vehicles, meaning electric cars may increase in value or sell faster, while petrol cars may become relatively less desirable. This makes it difficult for CC to assign a stable value to inventory over time. Very important point. As a result of this now analysis, CC risks overvaluing slow-moving petrol cars or undervaluing high-demand electric cars. Now, this was the real gravity of the entire answer. This will lead to, now the further analysis, this would lead to poor inventory management decisions such as overstocking, less popular vehicles, or missing profit opportunities from fast-selling models. Now, this was a question which I got the feedback was one of the toughest one, and it was a very technical question. Refer to figure 1.2, calculate the span of control of the showroom sales of the manager. Now, this question was one of the easiest and one of the most popular amongst all the students. So from figure 1.2, the showroom sales manager directly oversees 4 groups: cleaning employees 2, sales employees, cleaning employees 2, sales employees 4, administrative employees 3, mechanics 2. So to calculate the span of control, we count the total number of subordinates reporting directly. So this turns out to be 2 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2, 11. So 11 was the right answer. Next question, evaluate, examine the command word, whether directors of CC should delayer the organizational structure. Now this was the content keyword, delayering. So delayering is the process of removing levels of hierarchy within organizational structure to create a flatter structures. For example, now we are relating it with the case study. For example, CC is considering removing the showroom sales manager and internet sales manager. Overall, whether CC should delayer depends upon the balance between gaining efficiency and cost saving versus maintaining control and service quality in growing and competitive market. This point was as such not required over here, but I just mentioned to add a little spice to the answer. So as for the advantages, firstly, cost reduction and improved profitability. Now the first positive point is coming in for the delayering thing. In this, now we are connecting with a case study. Removing 2 managerial roles would reduce salary expenses, which is significant given CC has already invested in the new showroom and is planning ERP implementation. So already the company needs to divert its funds to more productive areas. As a result of this, CC can lower operating costs and improve profit margins. This will lead to more financial resources being available for expansion, such as increasing stock of electric vehicles where demand is rising. Now the second point. Secondly, faster communication and decision making. In this, a flatter structure reduces the number of hierarchical layers, allowing quicker communication between employees and directors. Given the dynamic market conditions and trends like a 35% increase in demand for electric vehicles, fast decisions are crucial. As a result of this, now analysis is coming in. CC will be more responsive to market changes and customer needs. This will lead to further analysis, improved competitiveness, and the ability to react effectively to rivals located nearby. So the 2 positive statements, fully analyzed, further analyzed in context with the case study. Now going on to the other side of the picture. As for the disadvantages, firstly, increased workload and reduced supervision. In this, removing the showroom and internet sales managers mean their responsibility must be taken over by directors or remaining staff. Directors such as Tofa and Jing already have key responsibilities, so their workload will increase significantly. As a result of this, there may be less effective supervision of employees like sales staff and customer service teams. This will lead to lower productivity, reduced employee motivation, and possible decline in service quality. All the potential disadvantage has been mentioned. Now the second disadvantage, over-reliance on ERP and loss of human touch. In this, although ERP can automate tasks, it cannot fully replace managerial judgments, particularly in handling customer interactions and staff motivation. CC relies on showroom experience, including test drives, which requires human involvement. Now, this is a very important part in the sales. The human involvement, the human factor is very important in terms of sales. So, as a result of this, reduced managerial presence may weaken customer relationships. This will lead to lower customer satisfaction and potentially reduced sales despite operational efficiency gains. Now, two disadvantages properly explained, connected with the case study, analyzed, and further analyzed. The most important tricky part evaluation. To conclude, it can be evaluated that CC should only partially delayer its structure, and this depends upon how effectively ERP can replace managerial functions without harming service quality. If ERP successfully improves efficiency while directors manage increased responsibilities, delayering could be beneficial. However, if it leads to poor supervision and weak customer experience, it may harm performance. Therefore, a balanced approach is most appropriate. So, this was our evaluation to the question in context with the case study. Next 12 marker, evaluate the importance of sales forecasting. Now, evaluate is the examine the command word, and sales forecasting is the content keyword. So we need to define the sales forecasting first in order to get assessment objective 1 marks. Sales forecasting is the process of predicting future sales levels of a business based on past date, market trends, and other relevant factors. For example, CC could forecast demand for petrol and electric cars using previous sales data and market trends, such as a 35% rise in demand for electric vehicles. Now we have taken the reference from the case study. Overall, the importance of sales forecasting depends on how accurately CC can predict demand and use this information for effective decision making. So, as for the advantages, firstly, improved inventory management. So this is the first argument coming in. In this, now we are connecting it with the case study. CC deals with high-value cars and a variety of models ranging from low-cost petrol cars to expensive electric vehicles. Accurate sales forecasting will help CC estimate how many cars to order and of which type. As a result of this analysis, CC can avoid overstocking slow-moving petrol cars and understocking high-demand electric vehicles. This will lead to lower holding costs, reduced risk of unsold inventory, and improved cash flow. So the first advantage of the sales forecasting coming in. Moving on to the second one. Secondly, better financial and strategic planning. In this, sales forecasting allows CC to estimate future revenues, which helps in planning major decisions such as investment in ERP system or expansion of showroom capacity. As a result of this, CC can allocate resources more efficiently and avoid financial strain from unexpected changes in demand. This will lead to more informed decision making and increased chances of achieving long-term growth objectives. So we have connected our point with the case study. Moving on to the opposite side of the picture. As for the disadvantages, firstly, inaccuracy due to changing market conditions. Now, this is an important factor that is beyond the control of any business. In this, the car industry is highly dynamic with trends such as the rapid increase in demand for electric vehicles. Forecasts based on past data may not fully capture such sudden changes. As a result of this, CC may make incorrect decisions such as ordering too many petrol cars. This will lead to excess stock, increased costs, and reduced profitability. Now, the second negative is coming in: time-consuming and potentially costly process. So, sales forecasting takes time. In this, producing accurate forecast may require data analysis, market research, and possibly investment in systems like ERP. For a relative small business like CC, this may strain the resources. As a result of this, management time and financial resources could be diverted away from core activities such as sales and customer service. This will lead to operational inefficiencies if forecasting does not significantly improve decision making. Now, the second negative is coming in. Now, the evaluation part, the most tricky one, it can be evaluated that sales forecasting is highly important for CC, but its usefulness depends upon the accuracy of the forecast and how well they are implemented. If CC can use reliable data and adapt forecast to market changes, it will gain significant advantages in inventory and financial planning. However, if forecasts are inaccurate, they may lead to poor decisions. Therefore, sales forecasting should be used alongside flexibility and regular review to maximize effectiveness. So this is the evaluation of our entire question. Now, this question had great dispute amongst the students, where you were supposed to calculate the accounting rate of return, ARR, for the proposed ERP software. So the step one involved identify initial investment. So from year zero, initial investment was 125,000. So calculate the total net profit over 4 years. So we need to sum the cash flows. So these were the four figures of the cash flows where the answer was 185. So the total profit, we need to minus the investment over here. That turned out to be 60. So average annual profit was 60 divided by 4. That was 15. So apply ARR formula. Now there were two different formulas for the calculation. So I've applied this one as the first. So if you apply this formula, the answer was 12%, where there was average annual profit divided by initial investment. Now there was another alternate method of doing it. So that was the reason some of the students were saying it to be 12%, some were saying it to be 24%. So I've mentioned both the ways of attempting this question. Now again, when the official marking scheme will be released, we will be checking which method was the most suitable one. So another formula to calculate average investment was to initial investment plus residual value divided by 2. So initial investment was 25, residual value was 0. So this turned out to be 62.5. So if we put this 62.5 into the formula of ARR, then we get the answer for 24%. So once the official marking scheme gets released, then we'll be identifying which answer examiner considers to be right. According to my opinion, both the options and both the answers should be graded fine.